So Nintendo finally showed off the Switch 2, and let's just say there's lots of opinions. We also have our opinions and our thoughts. So, this episode we're going to go into what our thoughts are around the Direct. We give our grade around the Direct, and we talk about whether or not we're going to buy this day one. So, sit back, relax, and let's get into it. This episode of the Gamerheads Podcast is brought to you by Seven Bridges Premium Gourmet Yum Yum Sauce. Enhance every bite with our savory blends of flavors, perfect for meats, vegetables, and crispy treats. Whether you're dipping, drizzling, marinating, grilling, roasting, or snacking, Seven Bridges Yum Yum Sauce takes your culinary experience to the next level. Get yours today and make every meal a gourmet delight.
Hi, I'm Celia Schilling from Yacht Club Games.
Hey, this is James from Megacat Studios.
Hey folks, this is Matt, aka Stormageddon from Reignite and the Fun and Games Podcast.
This is Stephanie from the Boss Rush Podcast and the Boss Rush Network.
Hey, this is Mark and Keon from Bunte Avond.
Hey, this is Sebastian with the ProNerdReport.com and the Single Player Experience Podcast.
Hi, this is Chris.
Mike.
And Garrett from Daylight Basement Studio.
Hey, this is Baron J67 from Level 1 Gaming.
Hi, I'm Jacob McCourt from the Left Behind Game Club, Crossplay Conversations, and Video Game Trivia.
Hey, this is Todd Mitchell from Code Right Play.
Salutations, this is Mike Carroll from Stroll Art.
Hey, this is Jeff Moonen from Fun and Games Podcast.
What's good, y'all? This is Adam from Respawn Aimfire.
Hey, this is Patrick from the Backlog Odyssey.
Hey, this is Rune from Runic Codes.
Hi, this is Andrew from Spalato Bros.
Hi, everyone. Jill Grote here from the Indie Informer.
Hello, this is the Crypt Master, and you're listening to Roger You're listening to Roger on the Gamerheads Podcast.
And welcome to another episode of the Gamerheads Podcast. My name is Roger. Along with me are my co-hosts and good friends. We have Jake.
Hello.
And we have Zeb.
Hello.
And joining us for the first, you were on the episode. You were on an episode, but this is the first time you're on like a full episode. But you write a lot for this site. So Stephanie, welcome to the episode, or to the show, to the episode show.
Episode.
We have a lot to talk about because this week was the grand unveiling of the Switch 2. And we all have thoughts. So this is what this whole episode's going to be about the Nintendo Direct. But can I just take a step back before we actually go into that Nintendo Direct? I didn't prep any of you for this. Last week we had a Nintendo Direct as well. And
yeah,
for the Switch 1, the last Nintendo Direct for the Switch 1. There was some cool stuff in there. But I would say like the biggest thing for me was the digital game cards, which can be used then for the Switch 2. And if anyone didn't see that, it was that you could basically take a virtual card, like take a game that you have digitally, make it into a virtual card, and you can share it with people that are on your, I think part of your family, your Switch family, right? Your family plan, I think.
I think it was your network. Like
your network.
If you're on the same network, but if you're in the same family, like your family plan or whatever, you didn't have to be in the same network, but it would last like 2 weeks, and then the game would come back to you.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool because I have a lot of digital games, and a lot of times I just can't share it with my wife because I'm like, well, sorry, these games are mine. Sorry, but now she can play some of these digital games, and that's very cool. And eventually I'll get a Switch 2 and hand my Switch to one of my kids, and then they can play the games too, I guess. That's going to be a sad day when I hand my Switch over to my kids. I might cry a little bit.
Will it be? Because you'll have the fancy new one.
I know, but it's like,
I guess.
See, I don't know. I have a Gen 1 Switch. So it's like, I've had it a long time.
Yeah.
So getting the Switch 2 is just going to be like, oh, okay. I'll just let it sit there because I can play all my old games on the new one and all these new games. I can't even give it to my mom either because my mom, I watched the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct with my mom actually, and I think she's going to be getting a Switch 2 as well.
Oh,
so
really?
I can't even hand off mine to her because she has a Lite. And I can't even hand off my actual Switch to her to play on her TV and stuff because I think she's going to get a Switch too.
Wow. Wow. Well, that's awesome. So yeah, I just wanted to make a comment that there was a Direct last week. We didn't cover it. That was it. We covered it now. So let's talk about the Switch too. Let's give our initial thoughts. So Stephanie, I'll start with you then. Sounds like you're excited. What was your initial thoughts of the Direct that happened yesterday? Yesterday as of this recording.
Yeah. I'm actually honestly very excited. Like I said, I have a Gen 1. So I have a Gen 1 Switch. So it's like it's a long time coming. And I've always been a huge Nintendo fan. Like I have had almost every system, I think, except for the GameCube. And
you had a Wii U?
I did.
Wow.
And I had a Wii U.
Wow.
And an SNES and an NES.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, I mean, just the Wii U. You're like
most
you and
of the
5
Game
people.
Boys. Yeah, I still have mine actually. It's in my living room. So like I don't know. I was very excited to see what they were going to bring out. Cats. I don't know. I was excited to see what kind of, I don't know, like what kind of new things they were going to introduce. Because I mean, let's face it, it's Nintendo. They're going to come out with something new, something kind of cool, and we'll get into that. But I was excited. I'm excited.
What grade would you have given it?
Like the Direct itself, or
yeah, the Direct itself.
I wasn't too impressed as far as just like the presentation goes. I wish there would have been a bit more to it. I don't know. I mean, yeah, they're just gonna give us the straight information, which I appreciate. But I don't know. I feel like there could have been a little bit more production to it. So I'd probably say, I don't know, like B- maybe.
Okay.
I mean,
okay.
It was
You
informative.
missed the days
but
of the stage and the reveal.
Yeah, like give us
you just
something.
wanted like 2 extra seconds of Silk Song.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. I have thoughts on that. We'll get to that.
All right. What about you, Jake? I'll go to you next. What's your initial impressions of the Direct and your grade?
I am really excited for the Switch 2 in about 6 months after it's released.
Because of Donkey Kong?
Well, yeah, that was pretty much like the big one for me. So I don't know. I'm not a huge Mario Kart fan. I know people love it and stuff like that, but there wasn't much as on day one that I was really excited for. And the upgrades for the other games, I can play those games on my Switch 1, right? So it's like I don't know. But there is some stuff that I'm very, very excited for down the road. Like a freaking Dark Souls game just for a Switch is insane.
Yeah. So, I thought there was going to be Bloodborne too. I really thought
yeah.
Or some kind of Castlevania game. That's why I thought.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to give it I'll give it a B.
Okay.
Just because I'm excited for things to come.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Zeb, what about you?
So I want to preface basically this whole episode with I was never a Nintendo kid.
Oh, can you leave this episode, please?
No, the PS1 and the PS2 behind
who invited
me.
you here? Who invited you?
You all did. Actually, I almost
Jake and I kind of told him to come.
Yeah. But so yeah, I was PlayStation. Never really played like GameCube or anything unless I went over to a friend's house and maybe complained about the controller having way too many buttons unnecessary, in my opinion.
And you would be correct.
Right. But everything they showed, but I will say I found the lack of the first party like day one lineup. Like that was noticeable. Like I would expect at least 2 or 3 your big names, even if it's like a side game, something to convince people, not just Mario Kart. But everything they told us about the technical specs and everything has someone like me who wants games to look pretty. Like I probably will get the upgrade for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, because at least what they showed off looked way better than what I've tried playing, and then it was like, eh. And also they're adding Cyberpunk to it.
Yeah.
And I can no longer say I own Cyberpunk on every platform available until I get a Switch 2.
You have to get a Switch 2.
So it's just, I have to. So I give it a B just because they didn't show a whole lot of first party stuff. But it, in terms of other publishers showing their support, I think they have a strong lineup this generation.
Yeah. I think it's funny. I've always been told that I'm a Nintendo fanboy. I'm not. But you have to understand my background. So I just want to give a quick background of like my gaming background. I'm much older than all of you. My first system was a Pong machine. Okay. So that was the first thing that I played on. And then I had an Atari 2600. And then when my mom went out and bought an NES for us, that was like a big deal. I was like 9 or 10, somewhere around there. And, that was like $200. And like my dad was not happy. Like my mom went out and bought an NES, came home with it. It was awesome. It was amazing. It was like the most amazing moment for me as a kid, because it was like, before you had to use your imagination of like, oh, this character looks like this, right? And now you're like, oh my gosh, that character actually looks like the character on the box. That's amazing. And then the Super Nintendo, but then after the Super Nintendo, I did go away from Nintendo. I went PlayStation. I got PlayStation 1, 2, 3, and 4. I did end up getting a Wii in there, but I didn't get a Wii U. But I did like the Wii. I got the Wii. And I did get a 3DS and a DS and a Game Boy Advance. So I do have those as handhelds, but I don't really count because those are, not consoles.
Yeah, I had a Game Boy Color, but I never counted that as
yeah,
part of my childhood.
Yeah. So like I'm not a like Nintendo like diehard. Like I'm not like tribalism for Nintendo or anything like that. But I will say I think I'm a much more forgiving or much more like excited than a B. What is happening? All of you gave B or B minuses. This is like an A presentation. What is wrong with all of you?
I gave my reason. The lack of first party.
They have Donkey Kong. They have Mario Kart World.
Donkey Kong isn't even coming out day one.
They have Welcome Tour. They have the Welcome Tour. That was a joke.
Okay, that you have to pay for.
Yeah.
You have to pay for that.
I have so many issues with that.
That is a joke. No, the reason I'm going to give it an A. I'm going to give it an A. Probably an A minus, honestly, because like I think I was really excited when I watched it, and now like letting it all kind of settle in, I'm still excited, but I'm not as excited. One thing I will say that I really actually thought was pretty cool was that they brought a producer out, they brought a one of the tech devs out, and then another game developer, I think, dev out to talk about it, and like not many companies do that with a rollout this big of a new system. Usually it's the CEO coming out and talking about the thing, right? The fact that they allowed the people that actually worked on this system to come out and be like, hey, we want to tell you about it. Like, that means, one, that they're proud of the product they're delivering, right? Like, and two, they're giving credit to the people that did it. I thought that was fantastic. For me, like, that was huge for me, because I've always been a person that when you roll out something, you should give credit to the people that did it, and like, I'm glad they did. So that was awesome. But I agree. Like, I expected a Mario. I did not see a Mario game. I didn't expect a Zelda game because we just had one.
We just
we did actually.
But it's an outsourced Zelda.
Yeah, I mean,
game.
true.
But it's
still,
also
it's still tied
the
lore-wise,
Hyrulean.
though.
Yeah, okay.
Hyrule
Okay.
Warriors.
Yeah. That's
like
cool.
lore-wise, we're getting like basically like kind
That's
of like a prequel kind of.
Yeah, that's true.
Leading
That's true.
into Breath of the Wild.
Also, I played Age of Calamity, and that game is so much fun. Like the Hyrule
really
Warriors.
Yeah,
so
that's really good.
I will definitely be getting that game once it comes out. So yeah.
And I know that Metroid is coming to the OG Switch as well, but it's going to be more scaled for the new one. So yeah, I don't know. I give it an A-. I think there's a couple things we'll talk about it. I think the price kind of like didn't sit well with me. Pricing of the games didn't sell well with me. The fact that they're charging for a tech demo doesn't sit well with me. I know it's only $6, but it's still weird.
It's still $6.
It's still $6 unless it's free for it. I'm hoping that it's free for Nintendo Switch online members. Yeah,
but
maybe
still, you buy a PS5, you get Astro's Playroom, which literally
100% agree.
Created Game of the Year because of it. So
you think that this will be a Game of the Year? But it is weird because Nintendo has always bundled not always, I shouldn't say always. Their original systems bundled a game. You had Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt in the original. You had Super Mario Brothers World, right, in the Super Nintendo. I don't know if N64 came bundled with Super Mario. What was it? Is it just
64?
Is it
Mario
64? Mario 64. And then I know the Wii didn't come. Oh no, it did. It came with
It came with the sports. Yeah.
Yeah. Did GameCube come with anything? Because I didn't own a GameCube. Did that come with any game? Sunshine? No, I don't think so.
No, I don't know.
I think the fact that Wii was such a new thing.
Yeah.
I don't think they could have sold it the way they did if it didn't come with sports. Also, Wii Sports was awesome.
Wii Sports is awesome.
So good.
Yeah. So anyway, okay, that was my initial thought. So, so let's just dive in, Stephanie. I know you have some notes. Why don't you just start us off and talk about like some of your notes that you have listed there, and we'll just riff off of that.
You host.
Is this a bad idea?
Well,
Should I not allow this?
I don't know. No, you're good.
Okay.
I was just not prepared for it.
Oh, okay.
I guess I don't know. I guess we could start with just like the general specs of the Switch before we start diving into our opinions on the games that we got announced. I guess I just kind of went in order as I rewatched the the direct a few times. The game chat.
Yeah, they must think we're gonna have another pandemic. What was up with that?
What do they know that we don't?
They must think that we don't have Discord or a million other voice chat options where you don't lag.
Yeah. Oh, that was so laggy.
That was their presentation.
Dude, as I was one of my notes on there, it was like, okay, well, it was very clear in their direct how laggy the streaming was.
Yeah.
Like,
that wasn't good.
No, I was not impressed. I think it's great for families who don't have like Discord and computers and other ways of doing stuff. But
I did see that they're going to be selling a camera peripheral that's in the shape of a piranha plant.
I just saw that. I just found that
That'll
too.
buy.
And
That
it's
I will
like
buy.
it's like it's cheaper too than what
It's cheaper.
Nintendo's.
Yeah, because I think it was like a third-party camera,
Yeah.
maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was already announced. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I also saw reports too that any USB-C camera can work with the
Oh.
Switch. I also saw someone report that too.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, okay.
I just want to say, Jake, I mean, you were on the episode. I called it. I said they're going to have some kind of camera that they're going to
Yep.
attach that top USB-C. I said there's going to be some kind of camera or something they're going to put on top of that. Right? Didn't I say that?
You did say that. Yeah. I was kind of thinking more of like handheld way, but
Me too. Me too. I thought
the Game Boy camera.
Yeah.
And printer.
I mean, we have cameras that go to on our screens. I mean, like we're all using webcams. I thought it would be something smaller, and then instead it's like, oh, you can only use it when it's docked because it's just on a stick.
It's like a table.
Yeah. What is this thing? It's just
I guess it also begs the question, like, let's kind of speculate here. Obviously, they're going to bring out more accessories in the future.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like,
Especially.
I'm hoping for a second screen.
I thought that was the other thing I mentioned. I think
Yeah.
that I thought it'd be cool if they can come up with a second screen, right? That they can attach to it. I don't know, but this is Nintendo too. Like, sometimes I feel like they're like, "Oh, we're gonna do something," and then they just don't do anything with it. Like, it was what? Like the camera. I will
That's
say
how
the Mario Party looked kind of cool. Like that was the only reason I might get a camera to do something with the Mario Party stuff. I was like,
I don't know if I could do that
yeah,
seriously.
Yeah, true.
I don't even want to try it now.
I did notice though, like, because they had in the direct where like you had basically like like a green screen, like you had just yourself there. But then I also noticed at one point in the video too that someone was in like just like a circle. Like instead of actually having like themselves cut out, they were just in a circle and it was just like their face. So I'm curious if that's like two different options that you're going to be able to have. Which would be nice.
I think they did say that like you could have it where it's like you're behind the game or just normal, like like.
And
well, no,
will also put
I mean like
different face, or if you have all four in the same room, it will put each face to each separate character on one camera.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh,
and like whenever they were showing that like, oh, you can have, just your camera, or you can be like in front of the game, like you're a streamer. But the face part is what I'm talking about, is like whenever you're in front of the game, I noticed at one point it was just a cutout and then there was just a circle. Like it was like your avatar kind of thing, like, and it was your face.
Yeah.
So it seemed like there was two different options there.
Yeah, I will say I think one of the things I just thought of just from a because I'm always thinking about like how can I create more content. I was like, oh, we could all play games together and we could all like, because I thought that was kind of neat that you can like pull up somebody else's screen and make that big, even though it's your Switch. I can make somebody else's screen big.
Yeah.
And I really thought this is for people that are streamers. I feel like that's what they're trying to placate, are people that are like, hey, we're streamers, but we want to have a better way of streaming together. This is one way you can, right? And then you can highlight certain people if you want to. And each person can play different games. That was wild to me, that you could have people playing totally different games and still stream it and still see the stuff. So I don't know. I'm thinking for myself, I'm like, oh, I could get the whole crew on and we could all stream together.
I
play
wonder
games together.
I wonder if this will open up the ability to stream to Twitch, right? From the console.
Wondering, because I will say now, like as someone who has dabbled into streaming on Twitch with my Switch, there is a very slight delay whenever you're using a capture card, and things like, I hate to say, but things like Hollow Knight, because of how fast of a reaction you need to have, that is make or break in that game. So it is like near impossible to stream like that sort of game through your Switch.
Yeah.
Because of just reaction times.
Yeah. And because like PlayStation, Xbox, they all just have buttons you can press and you're streaming on Twitch like right then and there, right? So
yeah, but it doesn't have. I mean, that's one thing I will say. Like, if they can get that to work, where you can stream straight to Twitch through your Switch, that would be pretty awesome. Because, like, I guess there is cameras, but it just doesn't work as well on the Xbox or PlayStation. I didn't think. And the other thing is that you can't really create like templates that way, and you can't. Really do that
Yeah. It's pretty bare bones, right?
Yeah.
So.
But more people are going towards just having the game in the background and just the face in front, right? So the template is kind of like not many people do the template anymore, I guess, like where they have like a bunch of stuff going on. Although if you still go to like any kind of overlays, that's all they do is like, oh, you should like build out all these buttons and gizmos and stuff. I don't know. But I guess more people are going towards that clean look. So, yeah, I don't know. I thought that chat thing was kind of weird. My parents are not going to buy a Switch, and we're not going to be playing games with them. Like, I was just thinking, this is not for family, right? Maybe my brothers, but certainly not my parents. Unlike you, Stephanie, my parents are not going to buy a Switch. They did buy a Wii, though. That was really weird. They did buy a Wii.
Hey, there you go.
And my mom beat me in Wii bowling, and I always thought there'd be a cold day in hell if my mom ever beat me at a game, and she beat me at Wii bowling. I was like, oh no, like I think
the Wii said, "Hold my beer."
Yeah, exactly. So do you want to continue with some of the other specs that you saw, Stephanie?
I mean, we already touched on kind of like the mouse bit a little bit on it. My big question that I had about that was like, are we going to be able? Is it primarily going to have to be on a hard surface, or is it you're gonna be able to use it in the air? Like Seb and I already kind of talked about this last night a little bit, because
there was a Verge article I read. Someone actually got like, because people have already gotten the hands on with it and stuff, and apparently Nintendo has said it will work in your lap, just not on your bare skin, and certain types of fabric it won't work with either. But
probably silk.
Yeah, I'm thinking anything really delicate or thin. So supposedly you'll be able to just do it on your lap,
or like on the couch or something, or on your chair or something.
I watched someone using it with Metroid.
Oh yeah, I did too. Did you watch the Treehouse thing today or no?
I didn't watch it, no, but I just saw some people like the people previewing it and stuff, and they were using. It was weird because it was like they had their right hand was using the mouse feature, and then their left hand was just using the controller.
I don't think I could play that way.
I did see that,
and that's very weird to be.
I also heard it's not comfortable to hold.
No,
because it's not designed as a mouse.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
your finger has to go like this.
Like most
because it has to press the
have
front.
some kind. I mean, this is not the best mouse, but at least it has, some kind of concave to it. That it's thin. I don't know how your hand could hold on to that. Like, I don't know. I saw that. I'm like, I don't think I'll ever use it as a mouse. Like, that's just not something I would do.
The wheelchair game looks fun though.
Yeah, and so that was what I was gonna say, and they did show that. I watched some of the Treehouse events this morning, and they showed that, and the guy did say you can play the wheelchair game on your lap. So he was playing he was wearing jeans, so he was able to play the wheelchair game on his lap. You guys thought that looked fun? I thought that looked weird. I
like the representation.
I do too.
Yes, I am very excited about that. As someone who works with individuals with disabilities and stuff, the inclusion and the awareness of that is just top notch. I'm very happy that they did something like that, even if it did look like a simpler game. Like as far as what kind of.
There's nobody there. Nobody's in the crowd.
Yeah,
it's an empty. It's an empty stadium. Nobody's going to watch this stuff. What is that about?
Yeah. So
same in Rocket League,
right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least there's some simulation of some kind of crowd
showing. I hope they can spice it up a little more when you
Yeah, maybe it was just a quick demo of it or something. I don't know.
I
It
think
also
that's
just
the game. I think
It
that's
also
the
Good,
game.
it's a good arm workout, so
yeah, that's true. It also, I don't know, it looked gross. Like just the colors
It
of
looks
it.
generic.
Yeah, it looked like
Yeah.
a game I
it's
played
very
on
gray.
my Xbox, like first, like not Xbox One, but Xbox.
Original.
Yes.
Yeah, the original Xbox.
You know what? It looked like a tech demo. That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, like
Yeah.
maybe we just got a tech demo. But
I think that's the game. I think that's the game. I think that's this year's ARMS,
hope
and I don't
not,
want.
but-
Oh no!
I don't want it. Listen, I agree with you. I like the fact that there's some representation. I love that idea. Right? I think that's really cool. But it felt very just flat. It just felt there was like nothing to it. All the characters kind of look the same. Like you have representation, yet they all look the same. Like, why
That's
is
fair.
that the case?
Yeah.
There's no crowd. It's in a dark
Yeah.
arena. What is
Yeah.
that about? Like, does nobody go to this thing? Like, at least in ARMS, they had some people going to the stadium. There's nobody at this thing.
And
It was weird. That was weird.
They looked unique too in ARMS. Like all
Yeah,
the characters
yeah,
looked
they all
really
look
cool.
they look different. All of them, right? All these characters
Yeah.
look the same. You know, I don't know.
Maybe
I'm
maybe
going
a
down to
week.
a B plus right now after this conversation.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
I see how it is.
We'll get you down to a B minus. By
Yeah,
the
I
end
would
of
be.
this.
I would
we'll
be
get
like
there.
an F by the time I'm done with this thing. No, it's not that bad. So some of the other things I want to mention, and maybe you have this on here on your list too, Stephanie, is the fact that it is a bigger screen.
Probably. Yes.
7.9 inch LCD, which is weird because I was like, why not OLED?
Yeah.
But apparently it
same.
looks good. It does have capable of 120 frames per second in handheld mode and 4K.
Handheld.
It's crazy, right?
The
That's
4K
crazy.
part excites me.
Yeah, the
I
4K.
just got a new
Went
TV,
down.
and I'm like, oh, I get to see Zelda in 4K. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I did see some people playing. Sorry, Z-Bear, but or Zeb. They were playing. They were playing Cyberpunk, and
Did not look
it
good.
was chugging. It was chugging.
I just
and
need to
trying
own it. I don't need to play it.
It was
He
trying to
just
get
wants to own it. That's all.
Yeah. They said that it would run at 30 frames per second, but I don't think 30 frames is
Good enough. I mean,
either.
even the Elden Ring trailer
Mm.
looked less than like, and I'm like, it's a trailer, and was this actually shot on the Switch too? Because you can tell it doesn't meet the same quality as if you played it on a PC or PlayStation or Xbox. I was like,
Yeah.
ooh.
Yeah.
So cool that they're bringing all these like mature games to the console.
For
Finally.
sure,
I think
yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does have a fan in the dock.
Yes.
It does
It
have
does.
that. It does have
I mean,
that.
cooling's important. I get
Cooling is
that.
important.
Yeah.
That's right. The other thing that I thought was interesting, and they called it out, and I think this is important that they called it out. Well, first of all, it comes with more storage, right? Internal storage, which is awesome. But that they have expandable micro express cards, micro ST express cards, which I think, you know, as a parent, right? Like, so I know the difference because this is stuff I pay attention to. But if I didn't pay attention to this and I was a parent, I'm not sure I'd be real happy with that because I'd just be like, oh, we have the SD card from your old Switch. We'll just put it in there. What? It doesn't work? What?
Yeah.
I don't know much about those. Are they popular like the Express? Like I don't think I've ever.
They can write faster, right? That was the whole thing.
That's
they can
that's
write
what I
That was the
assume.
whole
It's
thing that they, yeah.
yeah,
I
but
have
like
the
I don't
yellow
know
one,
if
but I
they're
never
like more
noticed the lack of
expensive
speed.
or.
Oh, I'm sure they're
Like,
more.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess
And
that
what-
they probably are.
How much can they go to? Too right? Like
Yeah, I don't know. And then and they didn't say how big that it would support how big, like, can it support a terabyte or 2 terabyte micro SD card? I don't know.
Yeah.
Didn't originally the Switch couldn't handle a terabyte, and then they did some kind of like
they might have,
because I know allowed that.
You can get like Nintendo exclusive like SanDisk SD cards, and they're they go
expensive.
up to a terabyte. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I put one in my Steam Deck.
I was gonna say, you sound like you have personal experience with that.
I put mine's in my Steam Deck.
But the Steam Deck just uses the normal SD card, right? It doesn't use
it. Does,
Express,
yeah.
Right?
It doesn't use the Express, but
okay.
I was like, what type of SD card do I get for this thing? Oh, there's Nintendo. I'll just go with that.
Yeah. I was like, okay.
That's a Black Friday sale type thing. That's what I'm
absolutely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess that's just from the Switch itself. Was there anything else, Stephanie, that you had around the Switch?
Well, kind of going with like the comparison between like the Switch and the Switch 2, the battery life I saw had caused a lot of concern for people. Battery life with the Switch was about 4.5 to 9 hours, depending on obviously what kind of game and what you're doing and stuff. But with the Switch 2, they're clocking it between 2 to 6.5 hours.
Oof. Yeah, but don't you think? I mean, like my Steam Deck can only do 2 to 6 hours.
I was just gonna say, that's about as long as mine can last.
Because, like, especially if you're running more higher end games and stuff, it's gonna take a lot more battery. Like, I mean, take my phone for example. Like, if I'm just sitting there and playing, a Balatro on it, it's gonna last forever. But if I'm playing Sky, it's gonna drain the battery like no tomorrow. Like,
can I just say you're the only person that I know that actually pronounced that correctly?
Balatro?
Yeah, that's how the developer pronounced it. I always pronounced it Balatro, but it was during the Game Awards that he pronounced it Balatro. I can't get out of my head that I called, but it was awesome that you pronounced it correctly. So kudos to you. If I had points, I'd give you points, but I don't have any points. So this is not
what
that
are we doing
show.
This for?
Petition for points.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, I feel like that's common for the battery life of stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know.
How often are you somewhere where you couldn't plug that in? Like, even an airplane.
Where did you go to, PAX?
Okay. Here's the thing too. I have like my Switch stuff here. I have this wonderful thing called an extra battery pack for my Switch that adds an extra 2 to 3 hours onto my Switch. So whenever I go on a flight, I make sure this is charged, and it just plugs right onto the back of my Switch, and it gives me an extra 2 to 3 hours of play if I absolutely need it. But I like
that won't work for for the Switch 2,
probably.
No, it won't.
But it's the same thickness.
It is. The same thickness.
Sure.
It is. So I don't know. And I don't know.
I wouldn't try it. You're gonna
break your
Switch 2.
I know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
you try it and you tell me how it goes. Okay, you try first.
No, I'm good. I'm not gonna. No. But I'm sure someone will come out with something like this. To extra
but do you remember when the Switch 1 came out and the Switch was like you can only use our docks, you can only use our chargers, and then other companies like, oh, we came up with a dock, and it bricked people's Switches. Those things were bricking people's Switches, and I was like, God. I'm not going to use anything but Nintendo chargers for my Switch. I since have used other things, but at the beginning I was like, oh gosh, I don't want to brick my Switch. Like that would be really bad. Interesting. I have information about controllers. I don't know if you wanted to move on to that next.
We could talk to the controllers. I'm excited for the GameCube one, but that's me personally.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting, and I'm glad they went with this. They went with magnetics, and Jake, you and I talked about this. They went with magnetic versus the slide-on. And there is a release button to release the electromagnetic magnets.
You know, day one, someone's gonna forget about those release buttons.
And they're
and
gonna rip
just
them
gonna
up. I know.
crank
Mhm.
that thing right out.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Um,
What they said the SL and SR buttons are the magnetic
yeah.
metal, so that's what connects it.
Yeah. I thought that was cool. I mean, I actually prefer that than the sliding. I don't really
I
like
do
the
too.
sliding.
Yeah.
Although it does mean that some of my accessories will not work for the Switch too, but which is fine. It wouldn't have worked anyway. I have a cracked case, which is pretty awesome. I don't know if you guys have ever used a cracked case before. I don't have it with me. But you can slide your Switch into it, and it makes your Switch thicker, like a Steam Deck.
Oh, neat.
It's just much better on the hands. That's one thing that I will say. The controllers, why didn't they like make them more ergonomical? Like, I mean, there's a little bit, but like, oh my god, I cannot stand holding my Switch when it's just
And
flat.
if you slide the Joy-Cons into like their meant to be controller thing,
Yeah.
I hate the block. I hate it. Like
the feel of that, I don't
this
like.
is your Elite. Why can't just design the controller, your Joy-Cons to match this part or something? I don't know.
I do really like the Pro controller. The Steam Pro controller was so good. I'm interested to see if it's going to work for the Switch 2, even though it doesn't have that C button.
Which they were very happy with the C button.
Oh yeah,
they were very C button happy. Yes,
yeah, they were. They were.
It has a C button. It's like okay.
Yeah,
I'll use my Switch 1 Pro controller if I can't use the chat function, I think I'll be okay.
I'll survive.
Yeah.
It's like I kind of like my Zelda one. I'd like to hang on to it. Like
Well, it makes me wonder though if in dock mode or like on its stand, which I don't know anybody that plays their Switch on a stand. I think that's weird. I think that's like tabletop stand.
Yeah.
I did it
for party mode
once. I think.
Yeah.
Once.
I
But
might have
otherwise,
done it once, but I wonder if you could use your old Switch Joy-Cons, sync them to your to Switch 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, then you could play things like Ring Fit Adventure. Right now that wouldn't work with the Switch 2 controllers, but it would work with the Switch 1 controllers, obviously.
So this is kind of going away from this controller stuff, but they did mention that you can play certain games on the Switch 2 and other people on other Switch 2s or Switches can play the same game.
Oh yeah.
And they don't need
true.
the game card or anything.
Yeah,
like
yeah. It was like Game Share or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that's different than that virtual card that I was talking about. This one is like like Uno. I think they showed Uno. Was it Uno or was I just dreaming that they shared Uno? I don't remember.
I had no idea what that game was.
Okay, maybe I was just dreaming Uno, but maybe I was thinking Uno.
I thought it was like Sudoku or something.
They even went down to even talk about they talked about being able to play with the GameCube games that are coming to as well, that you're able to play it like with other people. Like if it's a multiplayer game, you can play with other people in those games.
But you couldn't play. You couldn't play GameCube games with Switch 1 people, could you?
Probably not, because it seemed like the GameCube was just Switch 2.
GameCube was just Switch 2.
Yeah.
And was it only? It was only 2 games coming out, wasn't it?
3.
Yeah.
3?
Soul Calibur 2.
Oh yeah, Soul
Wind
Calibur.
Waker.
Yes.
And F-Zero.
And F-Zero,
Yeah.
Okay.
But they did advertise what I was excited to see was Chibi Robo, which I own, and I actually really
nice.
A lot. But I also noticed too, which I know the individual I support, who I'll see tomorrow, is going to be excited. I actually saw like Pokemon XD and Coliseum on that little side scroll pop up, which was really cool.
And Fire Emblem, which is apparently
a
very expensive game.
Yeah, it's a super expensive game, and it's a good game too. It's a good game. So, yeah, that's exciting. The other thing I was going to say about the Joy-Cons is I did watch the Treehouse today, and they did the welcome tour. They played a little bit of the welcome tour, which again,
Oh gosh.
maybe we could talk about that at this point. But what was cool is they did show like the Joy-Cons and the Rumble, the HD Rumble in it, HD Rumble 2, they're calling it, I think, and how it works. And they're saying like you could, in the tech demo, there was you could hold the controllers, and they went into this demo where you could shake them like maracas, and there'd be like little beans inside there. And then they switched them to rubber balls, and they said, I don't know how to else explain it, but it feels heavier. Like it feels like there's something heavier weighted in there. And the way they explained that was they have like a gyro thing in the, I'm not a tech person. You both, all three of you probably would know more than I would, but they have like, it's on springs. So normally it's just on like an axis, like a metal rod of some sort that would spin around on the axis, but now they put it on a spring, so it's actually springs around instead, which gives them more ability to do more variables with it, like to make it feel like it's heavier and stuff like that, which is cool. Except like we've had 1-2-3 switch or 1-2 switch and 1-2-3 switch, which was like, oh, you could pour glasses of ice into. Nobody cared about that. Nobody cared. So I don't know if people are like, oh, I can't wait to play with the maracas and change them to rubber balls instead. Nobody cares.
That was another game that should have been free with the Switch.
No kidding. No.
Yeah.
1-2 Switch.
Yeah.
And they made a sequel.
I own that one. They
you
did.
do?
I don't own the second one, but I own the first one.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna buy it? Let's talk about that World Tour. Are you gonna buy World Tour?
Probably not.
Yeah. It's weird.
Also, probably doesn't help that all my friends are hundreds of miles away. Also, I'm sorry for my dog.
No, it's fine. Yeah, it's one thing I will say about the World Tour, which was kind of strange. So I watched it. They did demo quite a bit of it. It looks like it's a tech expo. So you have this little character, and you kind of walk around the Switch, and you can click on different kiosks, and you can go talk to different people. And then this what were you doing, Nintendo? Like, nobody cares about this. There was like, oh, there's quiz kiosks, so you can go and learn about the Rumble HD and then get quizzed on it. The Rumble HD is, and then they ask you questions. You have to select A, B, C, or D. And I'm like, nobody cares. Nobody's going to be like, oh, I can't wait to see if I pass this quiz. Nobody is buying this thing to be quizzed. What were they thinking? That doesn't make any sense to me. That was weird.
Yeah, it definitely should be a free thing.
Oh, for sure.
Like, there's no, especially if it's just talking about like the very intricate details of how the Switch works and things like that. No,
Like,
it should be free.
Yeah.
Every piece of hardware I've bought in that has had some new capability, from PlayStation 5 showing off their controller with Astro's Playroom.
Mm-hmm.
The Steam Deck has the Aperture Job game, which shows off everything the Steam Deck can do. And then the Oculus, which has their own little thing to show it up. Everything, you start it up and it goes, hey, I tried this out, learn about our product, and learn what it can do, and look forward to the future with it.
Yeah,
but
then nobody ever does use it. Nobody ever does use it.
Well, yeah, that's true. I mean,
but yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Like, that should be free. I don't know why they're charging for that. I'm hoping that if you have a Nintendo Switch Online, that it's free.
Has that ever happened before?
No.
Okay.
Well, I mean, the Mario Tour game. I mean, the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with all the tour tracks and everything. We're free for the Switch Online users, but it's $24 for everybody else.
Same with the Animal Crossing.
Oh yeah, the Animal Crossing, that's right. And then there was some special modes for Splatoon 3, like some adventure mode that you can buy and just free for Switch Online. So I guess there has been
okay,
but it's a tech demo. They should be charging for a tech demo.
No. Especially if you spend $450 on their brand new product.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Just throw in that game for free. What? It's not even a game. I don't even want to call it a game. Yes, there are demo type game things in there, and they were trying to like hype it up on the Treehouse event. They're like, oh, it's like the little games you can play are like arcade games, and like everybody's want to go back and play it. Nobody's gonna go back and play these things. Nobody's gonna be like, oh, I'm so excited to dodge mines as they come by me with a mouse. Nobody's gonna be like, that's a game I want to play.
Yeah.
I don't even want to try it for the first time, honestly.
Since you brought it up, Zeb, how does everyone feel about the price?
I'll let you guys go first.
Makes sense, honestly. I'm not like the price of the console isn't the worst in my opinion. If it is as powerful, actually no, I take that back. I can spend $300 and get an Xbox Series S, and it's already gonna be at least twice as powerful as the Switch 2, and it's like $150 cheaper. So no, it's actually kind of stupid that it's that much. That's my opinion.
No, I'm honestly kind of right there with you. I mean, I will say their price that they gave, that's what I expected. Like I was expecting, because like as I was watching it, like my mom asked me, well, how much is this going to be? I'm like, I have no clue yet. I haven't looked at it, but my guess is going to be $400 to $500. That is my guess. And then when I actually looked it up, I'm like, yep, right smack dab in the middle. That's kind of where I thought it was going to be. I was hoping it wasn't.
I know.
But
you can spend $450 and get the discless PS5.
But it's discless.
Yeah, true.
I don't know.
You can get a PlayStation Portal for like $150.
Yeah. And
well, you
play
still
some
need a
games
PlayStation.
on it.
Yeah. Okay, and then there's the whole price of the game part.
Oh yeah,
that we haven't even gotten to.
Jake, I want to get your thoughts on the console first before we talk about games, though, and then I'll give my thoughts too.
Well, so the console for the package, I think, is going to be $699 Canadian.
Is that a lot? I don't know. Is that a lot of money in Canadian money?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say so. Like, I'm trying to think of how much I spent on my Switch 1. I want to say it was $4.99, or do you guys remember what it was in USD when it first came out?
I think it was it $2.99? It was $2.99, right?
Yeah, I think it was about 300.
So. Yeah, and then $200 for the light when that came out.
Yeah, and that's $350 for the OLED, right? So,
okay.
For the OLED, yeah.
So I think I might have paid $4.99, but then I also bought Breath of the Wild when it first came out because it was it was a day one. So it came to about probably like $600, I think, for that. So I'm thinking it'll probably be about $800 plus tax and everything for this console, right?
That's without the camera.
yeah.
And the much needed camera.
Yes. The much needed camera, yeah. So I think that definitely is is what's going through my head as well about when am I gonna get this. I do think it's gonna be when I'm gonna get it, or if I'm gonna get it, and it's when I'm gonna get it. But I feel like the fact that I'm gonna be paying about $800 for this console, I'm gonna need some games, you know. So like I remember I got my PlayStation 5, right? I paid $900 for that thing back when it first came out, but I got Demon Souls and Miles Morales with the game, right? So I had a good amount of games to play when it came out, and the fact that it was backwards compatible and everything like that was great. And there was upgrades that came with games that were free and stuff like that. It's like yeah, when we're getting into these numbers, I really have to like say, is it worth it right now, you know? So
yeah, I think like I'm gonna get it at some point for sure.
Yeah.
But I think of like a parent, right? Because I mean I am a parent, but I think of like other parents, and maybe if you didn't have a Switch, if you're like the one or two families that don't have a Switch, maybe this might be like something like, okay, we're gonna dive into the Switch now, right? Like I'll get a Switch. But I can't imagine just the average parent going up being like, oh, like let's go buy a Switch 2 when it can play every game that you can play right now on your Switch. I can't imagine them being like, oh yeah, let's go get one. I mean, I know it's hard because like I'm so into games, so it's hard for me to know like what and like, but I think most parents are going to be like, you have Mario Kart. Why do you need a new Mario Kart? Like, just play the Mario Kart you have. And it has lots of tracks. You even said that. We have the Switch Online. It has all the games that you want to play, like all the old games. Like, why do you need a new Switch for that? And yeah, I don't know if there wasn't enough to, I don't think, to sell parents on getting a new Switch. Maybe enough for gamers that don't have a Switch that are more like, oh, I'm a PC gamer and I would get into console games if there's just a better but like even you said, Zeb, there's Xbox like or PlayStation. I just don't. I feel like if they're gonna get into that, they would have gotten into that with other systems. I'm a little worried. I mean, to be honest, it feels a little bit like what they tried to do with the Wii U. When the Wii U launched, they're like, "Oh, look you can get Mass Effect 3 now on the Wii U," and I was like, "But everybody," and it was full price. But by the time the Wii U came out, Mass Effect 3 was older, and you can get it for $20 for any other system. And it ran better. And I was like, nobody's gonna buy this system to play Mass Effect 3 when they can play it, or the Batman Arkham game. They're like, oh, you can play Batman Arkham. And everybody's like, well, why? I already have it. Well, yeah, but you could play it on handheld. I don't know if anybody was like, oh, cool, I can play it handheld. I mean, I think it'll be fine. I don't think it's gonna be like a Wii U situation, but I do think that I don't think there's enough. I think parents. I mean, it's the same thing that happened with the Wii when the Wii U. My parents bought a Wii because it was just so unique and so different, and like everybody wanted one. And then a Wii U came out, they're like, why do I need that? Like, you know. And I don't think they're gonna be able to capture that same lightning in a bottle like they did with the Wii and what they did with the Switch. I just don't think it's gonna be the same.
I think it's too similar too.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's too similar and it's too expensive.
Yeah.
And
especially since you know their games will never go on sale.
Well, that's the thing. So let's talk about that. The games are themselves. So the only reason, if I'm going to buy a Switch 2, it's going to be bundled with the Mario Kart World, because outside, so it's $50. So it's normally $450 base without the game, $500 with the game. So okay, $50. But if you didn't get it that way, Mario Kart World is $90. What? And then every game is $90. Oh, and if you want to upgrade your current games to be on the Switch,
how much is that gonna be?
Well, so I maybe I was dreaming this. I don't know. Again, it feels like I maybe had dreams about this last night. I'm not sure.
Fever dreams.
Yeah. I thought they said that if you're a Switch Online member, that the upgrades are free, but I could be wrong. But they didn't. But what they did say was that if you didn't have Breath of the Wild, for instance, it's like $90, right? With the upgrade.
Yeah.
Same with Tears of the Kingdom, and same with Jamboree. But then the Donkey Kong game was $70. So I was like, what is happening here? So I don't know. It's all over the place. But then I feel like the Street Fighter game was like $39.99 or $59.99. I feel like that was like a normal price. I was like, oh, okay. I don't know. It's all over.
It kind of goes with like the whole just recent jump in like when Tears of the Kingdom came out. I still haven't bought Tears yet
because of
the price point, because it's $70. And even if I can find it like pre-owned, it's still pretty close. It's like maybe $2 or $3 less.
Yeah.
I still haven't bought it. That's a very high price point, and games are getting more expensive, which does tend to happen. The 50 to 60 jump didn't really hit me as hard, but this jump from 60 to 70 for most games is we're getting close to $100 for
now
games
it's
now, and
yeah,
we're
I was
almost
gonna say,
there now.
The games are going to be what, 80? Is it? Did I say 90? I think it meant 80. I think games are going to be $80.
I think 90 was physical and 80
was physical. Okay.
I think that might be what I read.
Yeah. The other thing too, the controllers, I didn't mention this, they're going to be $90 for another pair of controllers.
For a pair of Joy-Cons?
Yeah,
or just for
a pair.
one?
No, for a pair.
It's going to be 90.
Which I guess the Switch ones are 70, so I can kind of see maybe another $20, sure. But $100 almost. I mean, with tax, it's gonna be $100 for a new
It's gonna
set
be
of
$100.
Joy-Cons.
Just call it $100.
Yeah.
USD.
USD.
CAD, I'm sorry, Jake.
I was gonna say I've been paying $90 for a game for like a decade. So.
Sorry. But I do worry though a little bit about the other big names, Microsoft and Sony, just salivating at the fact that they're like, ooh, now we can start charging this kind of money for games too. This is amazing.
Yeah.
Well, they're already starting to do it. Like, new PlayStation 5 games are, well, they're $90 here. And the Capcom has been gouging for the last two games, Dragon's Dogma 2 and the new Monster Hunter, are $100 for the game without tax. So so I think that they're still like $70 USD maybe.
Yeah.
So
$69.99,
yeah. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm really interested to see what the price is going to be in CAD, because I was trying to find it. I couldn't for the games, so maybe it'll just be 89 and we'll all play. We'll all pay $89.
Yeah. I will say the one thing that I have told people, like for the Switch one, parents that have kids that are not into gaming like I'm into gaming, right? What I tell them is, if you're going to get a Switch, get the Switch Online service, because I do think it's a good deal. And that way you have a library of all these games that they can play day one, right? And allows them to play a bunch of games. And I do like the fact that they're opening up the GameCube library. Although I'm like, well, I mean, outside the cost, right? Because the games don't go down in cost. Most of these I can play on my Wii, because I have an original Wii that can play GameCube games. So, I don't know.
I don't know how much trouble I'm gonna get into this for saying this, but my Steam Deck can run Wind Waker HD perfectly.
Moving right along. But I mean, I think it is hard. It is a hard pill to swallow, especially like I just got my Steam Deck and I'm not sure. I'm like, is this really worth me getting another handheld system where I have my Switch and I have my Steam Deck? Do I really need another handheld system?
Yeah.
I will say the Mario Kart, I know, Stephanie, you're not a big Mario Kart. I thought that world looked amazing. It looked more like a Horizon game than than another. Like, I like the idea that you could drive to the locations and, play, because there's like races between the races, which is cool. But then I think, how much time do I put in Horizon? Not all that much. Like, I don't know if it's worth it. I mean, it's the whole like, oh, this looks cool. I got to play it. I got to be part of the conversation. And then I'm like, okay, well, that was fun,
Well, like, here's the thing too, that I'm also thinking that, like, okay, let's say like my mom does end up getting, a Switch 2, and my mom absolutely loves Mario Kart. Like, she loves Mario Kart so much. With the new game share and the new like, in bringing everybody in, my mom's the only one that needs to own that. So if I want to play it with her, I can just go over to her house and we can sit and play it. I can play it online with her. She owns it already. I don't got to worry about it.
Yeah.
Which is great, but I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we could talk about some of the games though. So like we talked about Mario Kart World. I thought that looked cool. I like the fact that also dynamic weather and off-road elements too. I thought that was cool.
That was cool. Yeah.
And then you can jump off walls and stuff like that. That was neat. That was cool.
You can play as a cow.
That kind of is the biggest deal.
Yeah, I was like, why? The Donkey Kong game I thought looked amazing.
That looks fun. Really cool.
That reminds me of like playing Astro Bot, just good, fun, cute 3D platformer.
Yeah, and
it seems like everything is destructible or something like that.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I just saw that. This is crazy. Not only is everything destructible, but your mini map then changes based on you destroying things. Like that's crazy.
That's cool.
Right?
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like that is really neat that it's dynamic to meet what you're doing to the world. And people are just going to destroy everything. They're just going to be like, I'm destroying everything.
100%.
Yeah.
Speaking of like mini maps and all that, what do we think about the Google Maps for Zelda?
Okay, I know you guys all
asked for this.
No, I think it's awesome. I actually think it's awesome. I think it's awesome. I actually want to have a mini map along with me as I'm playing and just like walk me through. Yeah, head north. I think it's if it's free. If I have to pay for that, I'm not paying for it. But if it's free,
it comes with the upgrade.
You gotta get the upgrade.
Yeah.
No,
You have to have the upgrade.
No, that should be free.
Yes.
No, that should be free. That should be free right now. I should be able to download it right now, play it on the old Switch. That should be free.
Like everything that they showed is stuff that Xbox tried doing years ago. The Kinect.
Oh yeah.
Is literally the camera.
You
right. Think about it.
Yeah.
And then
that didn't work out
that
very well.
is like the Fallout app. And remember all the companion apps that they were coming out with? Like, you can check your mini map and open up.
No, the Fallout app was awesome though.
It was cool, but no one needed it. No one needs to navigate. I mean, it's fun, but I never used it. And
I did. I had my iPad up and I was like,
I think the first time I tried it, I missed the stim pack button and ended up dying. I'm like, threw my tablet across the room, and
I think Black Flag, Assassin's Creed Black Flag had an app as well that would show you the sea or something like that.
See, that would be useful.
yeah.
It's in the game. If you have
hit
a button.
Actually, isn't the Breath of the Wild? Don't they have, or at least maybe Tears? I don't remember which one. It may be both. Don't they have like a little beeping thing that you can turn on and off that tells you if you're next to
in both? Yeah,
okay,
in both of them. Yeah.
So I mean, I guess they kind of do already have it.
Yeah.
But they don't have a lady saying head north.
Yeah, you don't have the lady talking to you through your phone.
An AI voice, head north.
And when I use Google Maps, I have that stuff turned off. I just look for a split second to see what turn No one talks to me. I don't need that.
Oh, Jake, it sounds like you're gonna have a really fun road trip going to Boston.
I know. I'm gonna have to be the voice for him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Except Jake's gonna be like, "No, turn here, turn out."
You were supposed to turn 5 stops ago.
Oh man.
I don't know. I just couldn't find him when I went to pick him up. I don't know where he went.
If only I had an app that could tell me where to get Jake, that would have worked.
Yeah.
We talked about Elden Ring. Fortnite is coming to the Switch too.
I mean,
is it
already?
Yeah, it is. But it's offering service comparable to the Xbox Series S.
Again,
Yay!
Okay.
$150 cheaper than the Wii or the Switch 2.
I'm at a B- right now. I don't know.
Welcome.
Yeah, yeah.
Minus.
Wait, here we go. A new IP. We talked about this. Dusk Bloods.
Yes.
It's
Now
like
we're
Nintendo
talking.
knew how we were gonna feel about the rest of it, and they're like, all right, we have to get a FromSoft exclusive. That way, no one can say no. Because,
Yeah.
and then make it Bloodborne too.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
way, literally
Yeah.
everyone will play it.
Yeah. I love how it's not Bloodborne 2, it's Dusk Bloods. And they're like, well, it kind of, why did you just make Bloodborne 2?
We see what you did
Yeah.
there.
So I also heard it's a multiplayer.
Yes. No, not only
Yeah.
multiplayer, it's player versus environment versus player.
Player, yeah.
PvE.
So-
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is it
Sorry, I
gonna be
do
more
the old school
Tarkov?
player versus environment. Like, it was like, it's just P versus E versus P. Like, why don't you just say that?
So yeah, I don't know how.
I feel like
that's
it'll be
gonna
like
work.
Hunt Showdown-esque.
That's what I was
And
kind of
that's how I
thinking.
feel.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, where it's kind of like you work together, but then there's like
Like other teams.
big bosses, but then
and
there's
big
other
bosses.
teams. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
It'll be interesting.
Do you remember when I was really excited for Zombie Wii U? When
Zombie U?
Zombie U.
Yeah.
I was really excited for this game. And then it turned out not to be as cool. But this is different. Don't even say that, Roger. This is different. This is from FromSoft. This is going to be totally different. Yeah.
That was Ubisoft, wasn't it? That did that?
Yeah, it was Ubisoft. Yeah.
Yeah.
See? Different.
Very.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of interested to see what's gonna happen with, is it Nightblood, the Elden Ring spin-off?
Oh, Night Rain?
Night Rain, yes. So because that's supposed to be more co-op focused, PvE focused, right?
Mhm.
So maybe this is their way of testing the waters and stuff like that to see what they can do with Duskblood. So
Maybe.
but yeah,
They
I
did-
do
Oh,
really
go ahead.
want to be a vampire in a FromSoft game though,
Yeah.
so
I thought I was going to be Castlevania. Honestly, I was like, "Oh my god, how did they
Yeah.
do this?"
I
This
thought
looks
the
so
same
amazing.
thing. I was like,
I was like, Konami? Seriously? You're gonna do it? No, they're not. Oh, okay. All right.
also you can like turn into a T-Rex and eat people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You can.
There's
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
in the game.
Okay. You can.
I was
ride
very
T-Rexes
surprised to
in
see it was
Mario
console
World.
exclusive.
oh gosh.
In the new Mario Kart too, you can like jump on a T-Rex or
yeah,
like on a dinosaur.
Can you like eat a sandwich too in that? And get
Yeah,
a
yeah,
power
you
up?
can.
yeah, like a giant.
It changes
burger.
your character. It changes the look of your character.
Oh, really?
That's all. Yeah. Like it changes it. Like, oh, it's Mario from Mario Tour.
Oh,
Okay. Like, cool. Someone did call out though that it looked like there was an achievement popping up when they were demoing Mario Kart World. So maybe there might be some kind of achievement system going on, which seems like Nintendo's behind the time on that, but okay.
Very behind the times on that.
I don't know if anybody even
Little
cares
bit.
about those anymore, but
that'd be interesting though.
did you also notice too that during, wasn't it Street Fighter? Was it Street Fighter? Wasn't there like some kind of fighting game? Was it Street Fighter? I don't remember what. Was it Street Fighter? It was a Capcom fighting
Street
game,
Fighter.
right?
Yeah, it was Street Fighter. The Amiibos.
The Amiibos, yes, they're back.
Yeah,
Yes,
we got them back
with trading cards too.
Yeah, me too. Do you all
Like, I
collect
bought-
Amiibos?
I have only bought like specific ones. Like I went on a hunt for the Link, the specific one that was the Super Smash Brothers Link one, only because you could get a very important character in Breath of the Wild. That if you put that in there, you can get Epona and stuff and ride her.
Okay. Okay.
Great. Yeah.
You can get her right off the bat.
Yeah.
But it has to be the Super Smash Brothers Link amiibo for you to be able to do that.
I got the Breath of the Wild Link when Breath of the Wild came out. And it gave me like fish or something in Breath of the Wild. And then I got the Link from the Tears of the Kingdom as well. I'm a big Zelda guy, so yeah.
Fish too,
More fish.
I think it just gave me a bunch of those, the balls that you collect in. So.
Hey, that's actually one thing the app can do. I think it was the app or something that you can share creations that you make in Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Creations now.
Yeah, that was cool. Like,
Gotta pay
CZEB, it
for
is
it.
cool.
You gotta pay for it though.
Yeah, you gotta pay for it.
The QR code? No. No.
I have a lot of amiibos. I would show you. There's just too many. I have a lot of amiibos, but I do have one that I will show you. Actually, I thought this is my favorite amiibo because it actually does something cool. This amiibo, and for those that are just listening, is the Loot Goblin amiibo from Diablo 3. And,
I love that.
This is I don't think you can do this in any other system, but in the Switch version, you could put this on your Switch. It opens up a whole different world, like a dungeon. And you can do this once a day, and then you can go and fight the Loot Goblin King and get all this loot. And so every day, my friend and I, for lunch, I would just bring this along. We'd bring our Switches, and we'd do one run of this during our lunch break and grab all this loot. And this was I don't want to tell you what company it was from because I don't want to give them any credit. I'll tell you all after the show, but you can't get this anymore anyway. But this was a cool amiibo. Like some of the amiibos are cool. Like some of them are neat.
Yeah.
I don't collect them though for like what they do. I collect them just because they're cool looking. Like
me too. Yeah.
I have like probably 30 or so. I got a problem.
They're cool collectibles though.
Yeah, they're like little figurines and
even if you don't use them for the intended purpose, they're neat to look
reasonably
at.
priced for, instead
Yeah,
of getting
yeah.
like a big like 10-inch,
Yeah. I mean, if you get them when they first release, if you have to buy them after, that's another one that those prices go up high, right? And those things. I'll tell a real quick story if I may. So I have, like I said, a lot of these amiibos. I also have a lot of Disney Infinity characters too. And one day we had a plumber come out to our house because they needed to fix something, and he had to go through my office to get to the back room where the utility room was. And he walked through my office and he saw all these amiibos and Disney Infinities, and he said, "Oh, kids' room?" And my wife is like, "No, this is my husband's office." And he just is like, "Oh, okay. All right." I was like, "Yeah, they're not toys; they're collectibles.
They're collectibles,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly." I also have sorry, it's going off of this, but like I also have the R-Wing that was the Star Fox, obviously, but it was what was it called? It was like Battle for Atlas. I can't remember what the Stargate. It's not Stargate. I can't remember what it's called. But it was a game that came out for all the other systems except for the Switch. They actually had Star Fox in the game. And
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Is it Starlink?
And it came
Maybe it
with
is Starlink. Maybe it's called Starlink.
and
Battle
it
for
came
Atlas.
with like a little thing
ship
that you
yes
could use
yes
to control
yes
it or
yeah so
something.
you could so you have the ship and you can put it on your controller and it picks up what the ship is. And for the Switch this is cool, this was neat. It was all Star Fox. Like the other systems didn't have Star Fox, but this one you can actually play as Star Fox, and he shows up to help these people battle against this. It's not even his world really, but you could play it. But it was like playing a Star Fox game, and it was Ubisoft, and it was really good. Yeah, it was weird because like all of a sudden you just put in Star Fox and he shows up and he's like, "Hey, how's it going?" It's what are you doing here? And then his whole crew is like there too. It's crazy, but it was neat. Anyway.
That's actually an interesting thing. I wonder if we will be getting any Nintendo exclusives for any of these games coming out to the Switch too. Like Skyrim, you could get Zelda's, or you could get I think you could get Link's outfit and like Link's sword or something like the Master Sword, and then you could play Ganondorf in Diablo 3.
I like this outfit,
Yeah, so maybe we'll get a Link outfit in Elden Ring or something.
Imagine that'd be funny.
A plumber outfit in Cyberpunk.
Oh no!
The Hitman game that they're coming out with actually had Mario and Luigi packets that you can get, and like just had items in it, but it was red and green. And I was like, what? So, and I think even the Rocket League for the Switch edition had Mario and Luigi cars that you can have, and then also they don't do this anymore, but the Minecraft Switch edition also had Mario characters, right?
Yeah, it had a whole Mario world that you could. Yeah,
but I think they got rid of that.
Oh, did they? I got that for my nephew, and he loved it. So hopefully they didn't get rid of it.
Well, I think if you wanted to play online with other people, you have to get the I forget the Bedrock
Online
edition.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
So, which is not the Switch edition. I learned that the hard way. Okay, so I'm sorry. Do you have other things you want to talk about, Stephanie, about games or anything?
You actually kind of mentioned, like, whenever you mentioned Hitman, I actually wanted to bring up too the new 007 game.
Oh yeah.
Anyone else kind of excited about that?
Yeah.
I'm a golden eye gal. Like, spent a lot of hours in that game. So like, I don't know, a new 007 game. Kind of excited.
Yeah.
From the creators of Hitman.
Hitman,
yeah. So it ought to be good.
Yeah.
That'll be really cool.
I remember when they did that with the Wii, they re-released GoldenEye, but then they put Daniel Craig in as James Bond, which I thought was kind of cool. See, it was funny. Oh, go ahead, Jake.
I was going to say, I think they brought it to the Switch online as well.
Yeah, they did.
GoldenEye, and you could do like multiplayer. You can't play it?
No, I couldn't play it. So it was funny because when I was in college, GoldenEye was like king. Everybody played GoldenEye in the dorms. And I never really got into that. That and Smash Brothers, like just because the controllers just are so wonky to me. I
for the N64,
yeah. And I didn't think they translated very well to the Switch Online. But I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong, but it didn't feel like a Switch. It felt like it was clunky. So,
gotcha. Yeah, I haven't played GoldenEye since I was a kid. Like, it's been forever. That's
I'm old. Jeez, like I was in college. Okay, I know.
We used to do all-nighters with 2-liter bottles of pop and just play Super Smash Brothers and GoldenEye all night. Good old days.
Good old days. They also showed Silk Song.
Yes, they did. For a whole 3 seconds. But yes.
We can
take off our clown
it said 2025.
We're good.
It said 2025.
We got it.
I think that's really funny because Xbox a while back said it's coming to Xbox.
They name dropped
right?
it.
right?
They name
And
dropped
then we
it in
haven't
one of
heard
their
anything.
announcements.
Yeah. And then we haven't heard from it in a really long time. And I thought for
No.
sure it would have been just timed exclusive for Xbox because of the fact that Xbox announced it. I was like, oh, maybe it's gonna be time exclusive. And then Switch is like, oh, look, the Silk Song. All right, moving on. Wait, what? What was that?
Yeah. I actually was watching a Jacksepticeye. I just pulled up like his reaction and stuff like that, and like literally he like started out like putting on like the clown wig and the nose, like, all right, we're ready for the Silk Song announcement, the whole meme.
Yeah.
And then like as soon as it happened, like he had the exact same reaction that I did, that I'm sure the rest of us and the fans, had, like, wait, what? Like just 2 seconds.
It was 2 seconds. It was weird.
But that's
And
all
then
we
they're
needed,
like,
though.
Pay attention now to our tech demo. Welcome to welcome tour.
Yeah.
Like, no. Go back to Silk Song. What was that about?
Yeah. My exact reaction.
I really feel like wasn't the welcome tour after, like, here's a slew of games that are coming. All right, now check out our welcome tour. Like, no, I want to check out what all those games. I don't care about your welcome tour. I want to know about those games that you're bringing. That was weird.
Did you guys
crash?
Did you guys watch it live?
Yeah.
No.
I did.
Okay.
I was at work.
So the whole YouTube live event for it crashed.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I watched it through their app.
Oh,
that's right. I downloaded the
maybe
new
that's why.
Nintendo app.
But there was like a whole section about they were showing off a game, and then it went into
the
like
montage.
the montage, and I could hear it say like "and Silk Song," and then like I couldn't see anything. It was just a frozen screen for like 5 minutes. It was a frozen screen of
I would have cried.
Yeah, and it was like so back behind and stuff, and people in the comments are like, "What the heck is going on?"
Yeah.
We finally get news of Silk Song, and it's like nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enter the Gungeon 2 was like the big one that everyone missed, and they were pissed because it was like frozen, and then it came back and it was like the end, and it said Enter the Gungeon 2, and everyone was like,
it was like,
what?
if you could see, it's now in 3D, and people were like, "We can't see it. We can't see
That's because you didn't watch it through the app. You had to watch it through the Nintendo app. It was clear as day. One thing I will say, which was interesting, so the announcement or the direct was done through the app, but then the Treehouse events, they didn't have play through the app. You actually had to go out to the YouTube channel, Nintendo of America's YouTube channel, to watch it there, which I guess kind of makes sense because maybe the app is really run by the Japanese company, and
Treehouse
is more Nintendo of America,
like Western, yeah. Okay,
but this is one thing I wanted to say, was the reaction in the chat. Everybody, lower the price, drop the price, give us that tech for free. Why are you charging us for that? Like, there was that's all the comments were, well, just drop the price. And I don't know, it makes me wonder, I mean, is this going to be a situation where, like, they're going to sell it, but I don't know if they're going to sell out as much as they think they're going to sell out. I don't know.
I don't think not at this price point. I mean, and going back to kind of like what you said, like, just the average household, like minus gaming households, the average household that parents buy their Switches for, the Switch 2 is backwards compatible, which is great for all of us gamers, that are going to eventually buy this thing. But for the average household, it's going to be that situation of like, well, you already have the Switch that can play all of these games. You're only getting an extra, 4 or 5 games at this point for the Switch 2.
And I have to pay for the upgrade?
And have to pay for the upgrade for the extra stuff and the games that you already have and can play perfectly fine. The average household is going to not see it worth $450, $500, like, it's not. The average person isn't going to want to drop that kind of money, at least right off the bat,
Yeah.
I think
a lot of money.
I think we're gonna get a lot of Switch ones coming through families now. Like, like a lot of people are going to be trading in their Switch ones and stuff like
Mm.
that to get the Switch 2, and there's going to be a lot of Switch ones on the market, especially at like EB Games or GameStop or whatever. I feel like I was even seeing like ads for trade in your Switch 1 for Switch 2 credit, stuff like that. Like, so
I think that company, which thou shall not be named, is offering $125 credit for your Switch 1s to upgrade to a Switch 2. Which I don't know. I don't feel like it's worth it.
I don't know.
Exactly.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm holding on to my. When I was younger and I was in college and I was broke, I would sell my old systems to get a new system.
Yeah.
And nowadays, like much to my wife's chagrin, she's like, "Why do we have all these systems?" I'm like, "Well, they're not worth me selling them, right?" Like, plus it's cool to have all these old systems. Like my kids still play the Wii religiously.
My whole setup in my living room, I have like my PlayStation 2, I have my Hey You Pikachu N64 in there, I have my Xbox 360, I have my Wii U, and I have all my games on display, all my physical copy games on display, and it is the coolest thing.
Yeah. I have the OLED Tears of the Kingdom edition Switch.
Ooh.
And they can take that from my cold dead hands. I'm never giving that up.
Well, and I think that's the other thing is like I think the OLED didn't come out maybe it was long ago now. It feels like
it was like yesterday. 2 years ago. Maybe.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah.
But I mean that's asking. It's like, hey, $350 for this OLED. Oh, but you can buy a brand new system, and it's not going to be OLED. It's going to be the standard. LCD. It's like,
yeah, that's like, nuts.
Why?
Just wait for the OLED Switch too.
Yeah,
you know,
$600 for it.
Yeah. But a lot more games, right?
True.
Yeah,
probably. Maybe. I don't know.
I did say games were $90. I'm sorry, I misspoke. It's $80, and it was $80 for Mario Kart World, and then Donkey Kong Bonanza is $70. So still a lot of money.
$80, $90. Is there really that
listen,
much of a
with
difference
with tax, you're probably pushing $90, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I will say one thing, not next week, but the week after, we're going to have Brian Shea on the show. And he did get a chance to try this hands-on. And he wrote a nice article. By the way, welcome back, Game Informer. I'm very excited for that.
Yeah.
And so he wrote a nice article. So go read his article. He did talk about his concerns as well when he was like, yeah, it's not going to be OLED. Like, that's kind of disappointing. But then he said it looks really gorgeous. Like,
yeah, it's still a 4K screen, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
correct.
Yeah. And the thing is these games are made for it, right? Like the games that are like Mario Kart is going to look so good on this thing, and Donkey Kong is going to look really good on this thing. Like they are made for this console.
Yeah. So. Well, Nintendo does that all the time, right? Like they somehow like made Mario Galaxy look amazing on the Wii. Like that game looks so good on the Wii.
Yeah.
And I think. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Wind Waker on the GameCube is still considered one of the best looking games.
Yeah.
Like,
it's
Zelda.
Zelda, yeah. I know, Zeb. I know you're more into the tech side of things and the things. I'm gonna tell you though, like maybe this is me, right? Because I grew up playing Atari, and man, those graphics were so bad, right? Like. I'm really like if you read my reviews, I am super forgiving when it comes to like the look and feel of games, just because I grew up. Yeah, because I grew up with games that were like clunky as hell, right?
I'm not like saying
I know
I can't play Stardew.
I know. Well, but Stardew does look nice, by the way. But I'm just saying the
new Pokemon game.
Yeah,
I got
okay,
problems with how that runs on the system. It's literally made.
Okay,
for. Game
that
Freak
I can
is
see.
literally they need to get their stuff
Yes,
together.
I can agree. I can get on board with that if the game is clunky and it chugs and it doesn't play well. Like I can get on board with that, right? Like, but for me, like maybe I'm old and my eyes just can't see it, but I'm just like, I don't know, like 60 frames at 120 frames. It kind of looks the same to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Feels different.
I can
the
see,
same, but it feels
I can see the
different.
30 to 60, 30 to 60 I can see, but once you get past 60, I'm like, I don't care. I don't care what it looks like. So.
I'm just like looking at us like, you guys are nuts. You guys are nuts. You don't. But maybe games like
I'm
Silk
right
Song,
there
you do
with
need
you
it.
though.
Yeah.
Song. But like the whole, I don't know, the only, I don't want to say the only time, the most recent time that I noticed like a huge difference in like frames and things like that is whenever I just recently upgraded my video card. Thank you to our dear friend for helping me with that. But I like that's the only time I really notice like frames is when it's like extremely obvious. Otherwise, I don't care. I care about gameplay. I care about story. You know, I care about how fun is this game. You know,
Yeah.
I love lore. Like, I mean, pure example. I got in. Our Vader got me into Destiny from lore. Like, started telling me stories, started telling me the background, and I'm like, I gotta play this game. I gotta learn and read it myself. You know, like I'm big on
That's a
story.
lot of lore. That's a lot of lore.
Yeah.
A lot of lore. It was a lot of. It was over a year of trying to convince me to play.
Let me tell you about a game called Warframe while we're at it.
No, don't. But like I don't know. I would much rather have pixels and a really good story than absolutely drop dead gorgeous graphics and stale story.
Agreed. Which is why my favorite game has both great graphics and great story.
Is that Cyberpunk? Is that your favorite game?
It is.
That's Cyberpunk.
Yeah. I guess that's all I really have. I mean, do you have any closing thoughts? Any of you have any other additional thoughts or closing thoughts?
Do you guys
I feel like the
think...
more we talked about it, the honeymoon phase went away.
Yeah. I agree.
He's down to be my
Wait, one of us.
I think we all
one of us.
I feel worse about it now than we originally
Yeah. I mean, now, okay, with all of the details and all of our gripes and complaints about it, I am still excited for it.
Yeah, me too.
Like,
me too.
I'm still excited for it. I'm glad that the Switch kind of basically got an upgrade.
Yeah,
but that's what it
there
feels
are
like.
Complaints, but yeah, it feels like an upgrade. And I will admit, I am still scared. I don't think it's going to happen, but I am still scared it's going to be a Wii U situation. But I don't know.
Yeah, I guess my thought is I don't think the camera nor the mouse is enough to get people to be like, oh, I need a Switch too.
It's just like the tablet Wii U thing.
Yeah, it's games. Games are what people buy consoles, right? And I don't know if they have the lineup on day one for that. So I mean, I think what
tour.
Yeah. Okay. You play that, okay?
But the welcome tour, Jake.
Yeah, the welcome
tour.
tour.
Go have a quiz on the stuff that you learn.
Yeah.
You enjoy that. I'm gonna go play Astrobot again.
Yeah. Load up Brain Age again and just play that or something.
God,
at least Brain Age felt like that was a reason to be quizzed. This doesn't feel like there's a reason to be quizzed. I don't need to be
unless
quizzed on
Nintendo is hiring you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But
I didn't know I
then,
was doing homework for my new console.
Yeah. But even then, I feel like if you're going to hire me, like it better be better questions than this. This is just like, we just told you that the HD Rumble is this. What did you think? It's C.
The C button.
Yeah. What does the C button do? I can't. But it was like weird stuff too. It was like, where is the rumble attached to on this graph? And it was a graphic of the controller, and it was like separated into 3 parts. Is it on part the outside, the middle, or the back end of the controller? And I'm like, who cares? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Why are you asking me? I don't care. Does it work? That's all I care. Does it work? And am I paying for this experience? I guess I am. So sorry, Jake. I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's okay. I know you're very, very interested in this game. So
I am. Offline, I'll tell you something.
We expect a review on it.
Yeah, I will. Hey, Nintendo, if you want me to review Welcome Tour,
I don't think they want us to anymore.
I'll give you $6 to review it. I just want to hear your review.
You can send me a review copy to Roger at Gamerheadspodcast.com. I'd be more than happy to review this game for you.
And a Switch 2.
And a Switch.
And a Switch. You need a Switch 2 to play it.
Yeah. I need that too, but any final? I mean, sorry. Do me final thoughts?
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get this day one. I think I'm gonna be waiting. They did show that the new Pokemon game is getting an upgrade with the Switch 2, so that might sway me. I'm gonna wait and see what upgrades actually mean for that kind of game. Like,
yeah, do you have to pay for the upgrade though?
No, because I think it's like, I hope not. I just thought about that.
I think it's the Switch 2 version. I do think it's the Switch 2 version.
It might be a Switch 2 version, so that might be like 124 CAD or something like that. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna hold off, and I think I'm gonna wait. I got my Steam Deck, I got my Switch 1, I've got enough games to play, and nothing's swaying me until maybe Donkey Kong or Pokemon. So
Dusk Blood or whatever.
Yeah. Dusk Blood. But I don't think Dusk Blood even gave like a date. Like
no, it just said 2025, and it's gonna be on other systems too. Like
No.
What?
It's a Switch exclusive.
That's what I was saying. I think that's why they knew people didn't care about the Switch too.
No, Xbox said. Stephanie, back me up. Did Xbox not say? Oh yeah, Silk Song. We're talking about Silk Song.
Oh no, I'm talking about Dust Blood.
Dust Blood. Oh yeah.
No, Silk Song will come out on other things. Like.
Yeah. Xbox tweeted out yesterday saying, "Don't forget Day One Game Pass." Just because
exactly.
it's coming.
Yeah. Please get our Game Pass.
Yeah.
They're kind of buddy though. Like Nintendo and Xbox are kind of buddy. I think Nintendo and Sony are a little sour since the 90s when Sony made the PlayStation because of Nintendo. So
yeah.
Wipe the floor.
Yeah.
No, go ahead, Jake.
Nope, that's what I have to say about the Switch.
That's what I have to say.
Zeb, are you gonna buy it day one, do you think?
No, but I do know I'm gonna get it eventually, just because, like Jake said, Donkey Kong the games they did show look fun. Even the Mario Kart. I think the idea of driving between tracks with your friends, like it's Mario Kart GTA. It looks fun.
Yeah.
Minus the theft part.
And plus cows.
Yeah.
Cows.
Yeah. Stephanie, you think you're gonna get this day one?
Not gonna get it day one.
No.
Not even even if money wasn't an issue, I'm not gonna get it day one. I kind of want to wait and see what else they're going to be bringing out, what else they announce. I mean, they did announce for a lot this year, like later this year or winter this year. You know, we have other things looking forward to, like Witchbrook and things like that.
Yeah.
You and I talked about that. But that's going to come out on Steam as well. But, we have other systems that we can get those games on. I want to see what exclusives they're going to be bringing out. Give me a new Yoshi game. Give me a new, a new Mario game.
Mario, yeah.
Something. Give me something.
Yeah.
Like yes, I'm excited for Silksong, but it's going to come out on other things. It's not a Switch 2 exclusive. Give me more exclusives to make this worth getting. Because as of right now, all the games that I want to play, I can play on my Switch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm interested to see what third-party games are going to come out with upgrades too.
Yeah.
Like, because I know that like The Witcher 3 doesn't look the best on Switch 1, so maybe it'll get an upgrade. So.
Yeah, maybe. I think the only thing that I would be concerned about not getting it day one is the current state of the economy, and with, I don't want to talk politics here, but with what's happening with, tariffs. I'm just gonna say it, right? Like, I don't know what that means for the cost of stuff, right? I don't know. Like, if this inventory runs out and they have to produce more, what does that mean going forward? Does the price go up now because the cost of things have gone up? I don't know what that means. And I can't see Nintendo then saying, I'm sorry, we're going to have to raise our price to $650, USD.
When it's already so large.
Yeah. It seems like not something Nintendo would do, but also it's a weird time right now. I don't know. So
Sony did that. Sony did that here. The PlayStation 5, like a year after it came out, it was like $100 extra. So
I don't know. That's my only concern of, like, if I don't get it day one and they run out of inventory, will the cost of things be too high that I'll never get one? Maybe. And then maybe that's fate saying you didn't need one. So I don't know.
I'm also, again, I hate talking politics and blah blah, but I'm also wondering if that might be a reason why it might be so much right now.
Well, I agree.
I think maybe they're
they saw
it
that
ahead of time just in case.
Correct.
It cushion.
I don't know, just kind of throwing it out there. Like,
it could be.
It could be.
Yeah.
So that way the price doesn't change.
It could be. That could be the reason why it's so expensive. That could be.
And then Roger, you brought up a good kind of point there with saying, oh, maybe fate just saying I don't need it. I was thinking about it. I'm not going to be upset if I don't get it. If I can never get it, I'm not like, oh my God, I'm missing out on this great system like I am with other games or something. At least right now, the games are offering. I'm not like, oh,
maybe
I'm
in like a
out.
year or something, but maybe supply won't be as bad or stuff like that. So
it'll be interesting come June 5th and all these people are playing it. And if I don't have one, will I be like, I wish I had one?
Yeah.
That too, yeah.
Well, because like even just for, Zeb and Jake, like we've all talked about getting Jamboree and playing Jamboree together.
Mm-hmm.
That's Switch 1.
Yeah.
We're gonna be able to play it together still.
But
but you
really
can't play with the C button.
Face.
The camera.
Exactly.
You don't want you want to be able to like actually like punch the
no, gosh,
the blocks. I'm sorry.
I want Xbox to bring the Kinect back. That's the only
I liked
peripheral
my
I really
Kinect.
cared about.
I had one.
I loved. I could say Xbox on. Turn the Xbox on, TV on. It was perfect.
Can you? No, you probably can't. I was gonna say, can you use a Kinect's camera on the Switch? That would be amazing. But I don't think it was.
I don't know. The Kinect can be used for a lot of things.
It's
yeah,
true.
they use it.
But
like,
what is normal USB, right? Wasn't it normal USB? It wasn't USB.
Yeah, it was normal USB.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess we'll find out more. We'll have more guests coming on the show. Like I said, Brian Shea is going to join us in 2 weeks to talk about his thoughts because he got to play it. The other thing I should mention, and you probably heard this on the top of the show too, because I'll probably add this as a plug in the beginning. But we are going to move to releasing our episodes on Tuesdays instead of Fridays. just because research shows that people like listening to episodes early in the week. So we're going to switch to Tuesdays. So I'll probably run, well, you'll listen to this one on Friday, and then we might not, I don't know. We'll have to talk about how we're going to record going forward. But then going forward, we'll do Tuesdays. So before we head out, though, why don't we go around and tell people social media handles? Stephanie, I know you're on Blue Sky.
I am. Usually you can just look up Miss Zafina, both on Twitch and on Blue Sky. That's usually where you'll find me at. It's pretty.
And you
pretty
also
unique
do
name. So
you do weekly articles, which I appreciate, at thegamerheadspodcast.com. You're the one that runs all the Weekend Video Game Warrior articles, and you do review games too. So check out your stuff on gamerheadspodcast.com. Jake, how can people find you on social media?
Yeah, they can find me at Clobinson on Blue Sky, CLOBBINSON. Also, you can find me in Final Fantasy 14 at Clobber Clobinson. Give me some material or
name,
something.
just so you know.
Yeah, my more accurate name.
I can't wait. I hope you get friend requests.
I hope so too. I can't wait for you to get a whisper and be like, "Who's this?"
Give me bat wings so I know who you are.
Bat wings.
For the longest time, I kept so small story, but for the longest time, I kept bothering Katrina with giving her bat wings in Final Fantasy. I would just go find her and stuff like that and open up a trade window with her and give her bat wings.
Load off your junk to her.
Yeah.
I will say
a vendor.
I will say, when we went to PAX West, there was some kind of Final Fantasy thing going on where they all had a fight against a boss, and like that's the first thing she went to, and she beat this boss thing, and she was so excited because she got. And then when I went to PAX East last year, I said to her, "Do you want me to get you anything?" And she said, "There's these Final Fantasy bucket hats." So I got her a bucket hat, and she was so excited. And I was just like, "I don't know what this is. I don't know. Here you go. There you go."
And for me, it makes my heart very, very happy because I'm one of the ones that kind of encouraged all of them to give 14 a try. So like,
Yep. She's to blame for our obsession.
Yeah.
I will say 14 for 6 or 7 years now, so it's like.
I was gonna say, I'll pull up like Discord, and it's like all of you are playing Final Fantasy, and I was like, okay, I guess that's what you guys are all doing.
That's our obsession.
I'm gonna do something else, but I'm not playing that game.
That'd be a good little series, Roger.
Ooh.
Yeah, you guys can run with that. Feel free. You guys can
you play 14,
and we go with you.
No, that doesn't sound fun at all. Zeb, what's your social media?
You can find me at Blue Sky with ZE Bear, and on Twitch sometimes Mr. ZE Bear. And I was gonna do my Final Fantasy, but no, that's it.
And listeners, you can find us on Blue Sky at gamerheadspodcast.com, which is cool because Blue Sky allows you to do domain names. You can also find me at Rogue Leader 76. What is it, 76 or 1976? I think it might be 1976. At Blue Sky. And then go to our website at gamerheadspodcast.com, where you can hear the show and see other episodes. I also do a new series called The One Up Showdown, which is a news show. If you like Around the Horn, this show is a lot like Around the Horn, except with video game news. So I'll have panelists on, and they debate and steal lives from each other and earn lives. And the last one with the most lives gets 30 seconds to 60 seconds to talk about whatever they want that week. So go to our YouTube channel at Gamerheads Podcast, where you can check that out too. And then also support our show too. I should mention that. Make sure you support the Gamerheads Podcast at Patreon. And I just want to say thank you to our patrons, Jill, Sarah, Adam, and Matt. Thank you so much for supporting the Gamerheads podcast. Without your support, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing here. So, Stephanie, thank you so much for joining us this week.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, I'm glad that you were able to join us. Jake, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Zeb, thank you so much for joining us.
Always a good time.
And listeners, thank you so much for giving us a listen. Until next week, everyone stay safe and game on. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.